my story. So, shortly before my fourth birthday, I was in preschool, and we were taking a field trip, and I was with my wonderful mother standing over here, and it was at a symphony, and they were playing some rather lively music, and people were dressed up in Toy Story costumes, and it was very kid-oriented, and I was one of those kids, but I was sitting there like a bum on the wall, which is not normal for a 3-year-old. So that day, we brought the kids back who we partnered with and went over to the doctor's office and had some blood work done on me because I had a virus at the time. And we brought that blood work over to Albany Med to get the results that day because my mom didn't want to wait any longer. And that was Friday, May 4th, and by Monday, May 7th, I was diagnosed with acute lymphocytic leukemia. I had a portacath in my chest, and I was getting my first dosage of chemotherapy. So, from there on out, Dr. Joanne Porter, who was my pediatric oncologist, became our best friend, and anything we said, we did. And Albany Med's fourth floor, which was the pediatric floor, was like a second home. And after being diagnosed, they gave us a notebook, and it was called the roadmap, and they told us that we would write down everything that happened from blood work drawn, spinal taps, things of the like. And they told us that it was going to last 3.5 years. So we filled in that book, and we did what we were told, and right from the get-go, Joanne Porter told us that it was not going to be easy, but that remission was not an option. It was the only choice. I was going to be cured. So, quickly after that, I adjusted to things like spinal taps and transfusions and infusions and spending 4 hours in the hospital in the middle of a Tuesday. And that was my week. And throughout the several years that I had cancer, I lost my hair 3 different times. Some of you might remember my little bald round head and my peach fuzz that was oh so soft. And even though I was ill and I couldn't participate in things like rec soccer, rec baseball, the community was still unbelievably welcoming, and Steps of Hope programs were set up twice in conjunction with my family and the Romano family, who some of you might know. And just a little side story about the Romanos. Some of you may know who was a few years older than I, and we roomed in the hospital several times, but on one occasion there was a very funny instance that occurred where Luke looked at his dad and said, "Dad, how come Matthew's so much bigger than I, even though I'm older than him?" His dad thought, said, "Well, Luke, ponies have ponies and horses have horses." And my mom said, "Mr. Romano, John, are you calling me a horse?" So, that was that, including the Steps of Hope. Chris Feeney, who some of you probably know, she works here at the high school. She ran endless marathons, thousands of miles, and baked countless of delicious cakes for my birthdays. And finally, after 3.5 years, I finished, and I went into remission. And we were all super excited, and it was a really great time. And at the time, Lance Armstrong was really popular, and we had Livestrong bands. So we bought 600 Livestrong bands, and we were going to put them at the hospital, and we were going to share my curing, my remission, with everyone at the hospital. And if Lance could beat it, I beat it, everybody's going to beat this terrible disease. The doctors told me that there was only a 7% chance of relapsing. And I fell into that 7%. 2 months later, I was diagnosed again. And went through an even more rigorous amount of chemotherapy, including several types of radiation. One example of just how rigorous this was I was taking a family vacation at my grandparents' house in Naples, Florida, which is mostly just filled with mold. And I wasn't looking too hot, and the paramedics came, and by 2 o'clock in the morning, I was brought to the hospital, and they were stabilizing me with ice chips. Well, luckily, Naples Hospital doesn't have a peak section, and Fort Myers, the closest hospital, their peak section was full. So I had to get medevac by a helicopter to the other side of the state, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and stay in Choteau Hospital. I was put in the pediatric intensive care unit, or the PIC unit, for 1 week. When I came out of the PIC unit, my body, including everyone who was with me, was very tired. My pancreas decided that it wanted a little break, and I went into a diabetic coma, and I had transient diabetes for the next 6 months. At the same time, I came down with the shingles virus in my leg. So that's just one example of how my second term cancer went. And after that, June of 2007, I finished, and I've been in remission since, and during that time, I went through several corticasts, maybe too many surgeries to count, and it's just unbelievable the amount of care, the number of hours that all the great doctors at Albany Med put in, and I just want to say that being on the relay committee has been outstanding. Being a survivor is awesome. Seeing all the people here, watching my colleagues raise money day in, day out, it's been a really great experience, and I hope that we wipe out this horrible, awful disease as soon as possible. Thank you.
Attaboy, Tanner!